Good evening, everyone, and welcome along to FRL. We are here tonight for FRL F1. It is season number 16, round number 9 of the championship. If anybody spied the little bit of a name change that I did, it is not the Singapore Grand Prix. It is, of course, the Italian Grand Prix, of course, from the Autodromo Nazionale di Monza. My name is James Head. I'm going to be taking you to the stream, of course, as always, on this fine Tuesday evening. Delighted to be alongside once again is Mr. FRL Jesse. Jesse, how you doing?
Yeah, I'm doing really good. Monza tonight. I commentated on it 2 weeks ago. That was absolutely chaotic. So yeah, I expect it also tonight with a sprint race, of course. So that will be really interesting to see.
Yeah, it will be really interesting to see. Apologies, by the way, if you can hear a little bit of crackling coming through on Jesse's end. I think it's his internet potentially playing up. Certainly coming through on my end as well. Might just have to cope with it for tonight, but hopefully it does improve as the night does indeed go on. And what a night it could be as well, because we could actually crown a champion here tonight as well. He could potentially be, I think, a three-time FRL F1 champion. That is Mr. Shazoo Jensen. And in typical Jensen fashion, when he's leading the championship, he's been called to do WR Legacy Division. So that's why he's not here tonight. So that is a really golden opportunity now for Macho Ahmed TC to gain in terms of the championship. Jensen leading the way on 173 points. He was very disappointed last week after that second place, of course, in Singapore, where Felix really took it to him in the final few laps. Basically was like a boat rather than a car out on track in Singapore, and Felix did a fantastic job. He might be one of the favourites coming into tonight as well. But Jensen leading the way on 173 points. Macho there in second on 82. Medici in third on 71. So, by my calculations, certainly, and do not trust me at all when doing maths, Macho needs to outscore Jensen by 14 points to stay within the championship fight. With Jensen not being here, that is either first, second, or third in the feature race that he can pick up, plus any points, of course, in the sprint that might come his way as well. So, and Medzi C also, he needs to outgain by 25 points, I believe, in terms of the championship fight. So he basically needs to win the race, win the sprint ideally, to get back into title contention as well. At this moment in time, though, it looks like Jensen might rev up the drivers. And Jesse, Jensen has been phenomenal so far this season. Netherlands, a little bit of a shame, of course, 2 weeks ago. He finished in 12th. Second last week in Singapore. He's not here tonight. Macho MTC, golden opportunity for them to get back into contention.
Yeah, I think if they just finish the race, Macho then should be still in the championship fight, and otherwise we will crown Jensen tonight as a champion, which is, in my opinion, then a bit of a shame because, of course, he is not racing. But hopefully he is maybe joining after the legacy division for a short interview.
Yeah, potentially so. I know Legacy Division is going on exactly the same time as FRL tonight, so we might not actually get to interview him in terms of the racing tonight. However, though, Jensen, I'm sure, will be very happy regardless of the results that come. Macho might just take the fight to him going into next week, of course, with 3 rounds to go. I'd ideally want to see that. I think it gives, obviously, a better championship fight to go about as well, and that means Macho Mighty C, of course, can gain in terms of the results at this point in time in terms of the championship as well. Looking through the constructor standings as well, there is a big constructors fight going on at this stage, mainly between two teams, AlphaTauri and Mercedes. AlphaTauri leading the way on 195 points. Mercedes there in second on 160. Mercedes actually outscored AlphaTauri by 4 points last week, so that is why the gap is now down to 35 points as a result of the outscoring from the Mercedes part. Ferrari there in third on 106, with Alpine in fourth on 87, Red Bull in fifth on 84, Haas in sixth on 62, Aston Martin seventh on 49, McLaren in eighth on 42, Alfa Romeo in ninth on 33, and Williams there in 10th, also on 33 points. They were one of the teams, of course, alongside Alfa Romeo, who did release their new liveries in the past couple of days or so. But AlphaTauri out on top, Mercedes alongside, 35 points behind Jesse, and I think, again, it's a golden opportunity for the Mercedes team to get closer in terms of the constructors.
Yeah, it is a really golden opportunity for Mercedes to gain points on AlphaTauri because from all I know, we have only 0 here tonight for AlphaTauri. So this will be the golden opportunity for Mercedes to gain points and maybe take the constructors' crown home.
Yeah, definitely so. I'm just looking on the left-hand side. I mean, we've currently got 16 drivers in the lobby. There are 2 people, I believe, that are missing invites, potentially. There were due to be 18, I think, racing. Charlie is asking, where is Mr. Hawk? I don't know where Mr. Hawk is. To be honest, he's gone missing in action, MIA, perhaps. But I am here regardless. And Ballboy was asking, certainly, about a weekly Gran Turismo 7 update. The update is there's no update. Literally, what I said 2 weeks ago is exactly the line that we're taking at this stage. It is a little bit too early, I still think, to obviously try and decide if Gran Turismo, obviously with the popularity of the game, obviously with new tracks coming onto the game as well in future updates, we're going to be taking that on face value. But for now, Gran Turismo 7 is a priority. I can guarantee that. It is a priority, but it's just not on our hit list at the moment. We've got other priorities, of course, in FRL, including the racing, of course, tonight, and including the racing throughout the season to try and focus on. There will be a Gran Turismo 7 update at some point. I can't really stipulate when that date might be. However, when I meet Hawk, that is when the update will come. Maybe next week, maybe the week after, maybe the end of the season, maybe never. Who knows? But we will get, of course, an update. Try and get an update towards the end of the season. I think it'll just be, of course, I think focusing on FRL F1, FRL F2, and F3 going on forward. But obviously, we will see how that might pan out. Paul was saying also you can make the GT7 League. Come in my DMs. Come in my DMs if you do want to, and try and give us some of your ideas. Slipstream and Boost, by the way, is not an option in my eyes, but we will have to wait and see what compromises we might come up with. However, though, turning back to the action that is happening tonight, we are here in Monza, 5.7 kilometres and then 3.5 mile, 11 turns away to now drivers out on track, around a shoe-shaped track, a bootleg-shaped track as well, down in towards turn number 1 as the first DRS zone, and then the other DRS zone, of course, is down the not the Reta Aposta in towards the Cida del Lago, that's Brazil, down in towards the Coronel Serralio, down in towards Ascari. That's it. That just came into my head there. But, of course, Jesse, it is a track on this game where RPG curbs are quite known, especially through the second chicane, and they can be quite deadly.
Yeah, I mean, if I just drive on this track, I just really hate it. The curbs in turn 4, turn 5, the Della Roggia chicane are just horrible. Also, Ascari, of course, is difficult with the curbs on the exit of the corner, easy to spin. So, yeah, will we see some spins there tonight is also a big question.
Yeah, potentially so. It is one of those tracks where it is going to catch people out, given the nature of this track. I wouldn't be surprised if we've got VSC safety cars coming. I wouldn't be surprised if we get 12, 13 finishes out of tonight's races. However, with 16 drivers, we are about to get going. It's a little bit disappointing. I'm not going to criticise at all the attendances for tonight. It has been, of course, great all season. Even in the Bunty era, it was really good this season. The attendances, 16 drivers though, takes a little bit of a knock-on effect to, of course, the championship fight, with Jensen, of course, leading that championship as we are now beginning out on track. Tom saying as well, oh, they were actually expecting somebody to ready up. They were actually expecting somebody to tell them to ready up. It's I think our job to do that. We should have said ready up, guys. We were ready, but these guys have taken on their own volition to ready up, which is good. And now we can bring you the on-track action. Of course, it is sprint racing. It is feature race as well. One-shot qualifying will determine the sprint race, and then of course the feature race a little bit later on. But Jesse, we have a couple of new drivers to put ourselves into as well. Mr. Age is a brand new driver of CPI's name changer has left the session, formerly MedTC, of course now part of the NLR team. Also in as well is Raul Kale, formerly of Darren Smith, under his new name, of course, representing the QRT team. And Noah Jones, who I know very well indeed from TML, of course, a runner-up, I think, in one of the seasons. I think it was season 6, season 7. Took Tom right to the limits that season as well. How do you think they'll get on around out on track? As, to be honest, looking at the conditions, this could prove to be a very costly one-shot qualifying, given how the shadows on the track might actually cause a few problems here.
Yeah, I see it already in the pit lane. Some shadows on the track, of course, which can maybe influence the laps a little bit, as name changer, known as MedTC, is back again in the session, and we will start one-shot qualifying here in Italy.
Yeah, name changes game crash. That's why he left. As Rooty, the other NLR man, he could be perhaps an outside chance for pole position. Running down in towards turn 1. Let's see Ryan Bolden what he can do. We'll put the timing towel up on the left-hand side as we come through the middle sector. But Rooty now on the run down in towards turn 1. Breaks at the 50-metre ball, gets the car rotated in. Just about gets the car rotated in. Normally when I see somebody break the 50-metre ball, they normally go straight over the chicane. Now coming through Curva Biasono, Curva Grande, of course, to you and me. Rooty not doing a bad job at all connecting through this first sector split. And 26-4 in the first sector from Rooty. Now coming to the left-handed and the right-handed chicane of the Della Roger chicane. The Westfield chicane, of course, being the first one. Now in towards the first Lesmo, not to confuse, of course, with something else that might be coming into your dirty, tiny minds, as Rooty now comes into the right-handed, the right-hand of the second Lesmo. Now down the Curva del Serralio, down in towards the Scari chicane, and down in towards the middle sector split. And this is where we'll get up the timings at this stage. 52.9 in the middle sector from Rooty. Tom, Macho, Noah Jones currently out on top. Felix right up there. Well, Kale, Darren right up there as well, and Rooty right up there as well. So it's going to be interesting to see who is going to be out on top in this qualifying session. Noah's certainly got more pace than Felix down the straight. Noticing that on the left-hand side, as Rooty now comes through the right-hander of the Parabolica, otherwise known, of course, as the Curva Alvaretto. And now comes through the final corner on the line, and Rooty actually goes third. Timing's the line on my screen. Tom that goes out on top, a 19.2. Is actually not too dissimilar to what we would have been seeing in a full 18-minute qualifying session. So Tom, absolutely blazing trail and out on top and back to form, it seems.
Yeah, it was also pretty close for P2. Noah Jones, he gets P2 in qualifying here on his debut. Rooty on P3. I think he was like 15th after 3 corners. So really good job by him. Macho, he will start this sprint race from 4th, and that is also really close with Felix in 5th.
Neil Sarnold saying the sound isn't good. I think it fixes itself. I certainly got a message about that, and then everything was fine. So hopefully everything is okay in terms of the sound. I'm assuming that's game sound as regardless tower mics, but I think we're all fine at the minute. Tom Noah on top by 2.5 tenths of a second. Noah Jones there in second. Did say watch out for him. Rooty there in third. With Macho in fourth. Felix there in fifth. While Kale there in sixth. Ivo in seventh. Mr. Rage in eighth. Keki in ninth. Zero top 10. And Toyn there in 11th. Pelly in 12th. Name changer 13th. Didn't get through the rest of the field because everyone decided to ruddy up very early indeed. Rocco there down in 14th. I know for a fact was down in 14th position. But now we get into beautiful blue sky and qualifying. Beautiful blue sky and sunshine once again for the Italian Grand Prix. And of course, for this race that is up and coming, which is the Italian Grand Prix here in Monza. The sprint race first, 9 laps, and then, of course, 27 laps of the feature race, which should be a very easy one-stop strategy, you would imagine, as the sessions will, of course, go on, and, of course, this weather, hopefully, will go on into the feature race as well. But, Jesse, I'm going to come across to you. Who's your top 3, judging by that sprint qualifying?
I think Tom will dominate maybe this sprint race here in Italy, looking at qualifying. Rooty in P2 then, and Macho in P3.
Very interesting indeed. I'm not going to make a top 3 prediction because I don't know who's going to come top 3. It's as simple as that. But what I can say is we've got a formation lap. I thought we had Father of Lights coming out. I was just preparing for that. That's why I asked you for top 3. But then I remember, oh yeah, we've got the formation lap on for one shot, and indeed for the sprint race, which is good. Tom the lad on top, Noah Jones alongside him on the grid, everyone on a set of medium compound tyres. To be honest, I am a little bit surprised because drivers could have potentially gone to the soft compound tyre for this sprint race and obviously try and use that up as the session goes on. However, with those set of soft compound tyres, they only last 6 or 7 laps, and then they really end up completely off the boil towards the end of this session. Tom Noah on top, Noah Jones in second, Rooty there in third. Parrot, by the way, is asking me a very personal question, which I'm not going to answer on the stream. Asking me how old I am. You never ask a man what his age is. Well, you never ask a woman what his age is, what her age is, but still.
Everyone on the medium compound, I'm also a bit surprised at that, but I think if there will come a safety car in the sprint race, what could be already after turn 1, that I think most of the drivers will go to soft stand.
Yeah, I'd imagine so. I would imagine so. Tom, by the way, just caught completely on the outside curve coming out of Ascari. Didn't want to be doing that in the first lap of the race because I think he would have been in the wall if he went through there at around 120, 130 mile an hour. But now, coming through the right-hander of Parabolica, of course, Curva Alboreto, as was renamed in 2022, after the very sad passing, of course, of Michele Alboreto, who was a former Ferrari, an Alfa Romeo driver back in the day in Formula One, and of course, a very good tribute there, of course, for Curva Alboreto, being named, of course, formerly Curva Parabolica, as Tom now out on top. Noah Jones in second. I'm going to go for top three. I think Felix is going to win. I think Tom's going to finish second. And in third, I am going to go for... no pressure. Rocco down in 13th. I think might do a good job, as now the five lights are coming on in the gantry. Or I think they're coming on in the gantry. There they are. Five lights are on. And it is. Lights out now where we go, and Tom gets a much better start than Noah Jones off the line. And Ruti's already through on Noah Jones, and he actually might get Tom in towards turn one as well. Phenomenal start by the Finn. He looks to the inside line at turn number one. Tries to get the job done down towards the rest field chicane. There's a bit of contact there with Macho on the back of Tom. Everyone's clean through safely though, I think, and Tom leads the way from Ruti there in second. Macho there in third. Valkale there up the fourth. Noah Jones is already dropping down the field. He's on the inside now through Curva Grande. Mr. Rage and Felix Swan having a collision, I think, slightly coming through the rest field chicane. However, though, Valkale and Noah Jones are still side by side and actually gets the job done. So Noah back through and he's into fourth. Valkale there in fifth. Mr. Rage there in sixth. Very good restart by everyone, though. Ivo getting caught up in a big bit of contact further down the field. Indigo and Keki get caught on each other. All as a result, in fact, of Ivo making a mistake, I think, on the inside curve and then pushed himself basically into the way there of the Aston Martin, who led then on to the Mercedes. In the end, though, Tom out on top, Ruti in second. Noah Jones are chasing Match all the way down the outside line towards Ascari. Tries to get the job done, might get the switch back coming out of Ascari. In the end, though, Tom leads the way, Ruti in second, Match in third. Very chaotic first lap, but nobody, apart from Indigo and Keki, have ended up in collision.
Yeah, it was pretty clean this first lap. Many things happened, but Tom, he is already almost 7 tenths away from Ruti, who's in second. Also, he has the advantage in ERS as he sets the fastest lap now, of course, with 124.175 to open this sprint race with.
Yeah, definitely so. Just trying to fix, by the way, the... I'm hearing the sound fine on my end.
Dareth had a little spin in turn number 1, which caused him to drop to P8 now, because Mr. Rage also had a moment in the Alpine, and he is also dropping down the field now, behind Indigo, maybe? No.
Yeah, maybe not indeed. I'm just going to try and fix the sound issues. Right, try that now. Hopefully that might be okay. I've literally just unmuted everything and then muted everything back. So hopefully everything is okay. But Tom leads the way. Ruti there in second. Matcher there in third. Apparently people can hear full throttle on the straight potentially. So I'm not sure why that is. Certainly on my end it's coming through fine. So I'm not sure actually it might be an Elgato issue. I haven't updated it today. So it could be that potentially. However, though, you might just have to stick with it. Otherwise, I'll just run no game sound, and then you can listen to our lovely voices for the rest of the race. But Tom there leads the way, Ruti there in second, Matcher there in third. Now coming through the final corner at Parabolica, Keki and Indigo will going side by side at the background of shot. Coming through Parabolica, and now the Mercedes on the inside line might actually get 2 for 1, and he does. Keki through on Mr. Rage. Mr. Rage in the end had that mistake with Valkyrie. I think he took a board in action, and now is being passed by Keki. Beautiful stuff from him out of Parabolica, gets the job done, as does Rocco down in towards turn number 1. So Rocco there through, and he's into 6th. Xavier there in 7th. Valkyrie there in 8th. Tom leads the way, Ruti in second, Matcher there in third, Noah Jones there in fourth. Very good start here in the sprint as Indigo and Mr. Rager once again side by side, and Indigo in the end, the IRT man, getting around the outside of the CPI man, he is through and he's in 15th position.
Charlie also overtook NetDC for P11 then in this sprint race, so good job by Aston Martin, fighting his way up to the points.
And Tom, by the way, is right under pressure from Ruti. I think he might have made a mistake coming out potentially of the Della Rogers chicane. And now Ruti is literally right there, backing up into the back there of Tom. And Tom trying to back him up into the back of Macho. And Macho there in third is going to try and gain as many position points as possible with this sprint, of course, ongoing. And it is a sprint race, of course, awards points. And I'll get the points up in a second for you guys. Unless Jesse knows off by heart what the point system is.
I think it is just like in real life. So 8 for the winner, 7 for the second, and 6 third, etc., etc.
To be quite good, as Ruti now on the back of Tom. I think Mr. Bacon Pelly might have had a moment at the back of the field. Certainly Pelly has. As now Ruti to the inside of turn number 1 gets the job done. So he's doing his into the lead of the race through the rest of the field of chicane. Tom there in second, Macho there in third, Noah Jones there in fourth. Zero was having a fight there with Valkeo on the exit of turn number 1 as well. And actually gets a really good run. Coming now through Cover Be a Solo, Cover Grande to you and me, as he now looks toward the inside line, trying to save his way on that inside ground. Try and make as much ground as possible into the corner. In the end, though, nobody's making ground. Apart from Name Changer, who's on the back there of Charlie. He was obviously down the field as a result of not taking control of his car in qualifying. And now Name Changer to the inside line, looking to try... I was going to say, looking to try and reminisce himself back to the F1 Esports Challengers days, but certainly not with a move like that down the inside.
Would save that from the Williams to avoid spinning. But some groups are being created now because the top 5 is away from Rocco. Gap is 1.4 seconds for now. And also Charlie, he's 1 second behind Teun actually for P10. So yeah, some groups are being created, and Macho, he is really close to the Red Bull of Tom.
Yeah, he is indeed a Macho right on the back of the Red Bull now, coming down the straight. He's got a lot more speed than Tom physically in a straight line, using up all of that ERS. Might not even need it. I don't think Tom's going to go for the move on Ruti though, or is he? Ruti defends the inside line. Tom around the outside might just get hemmed in, and actually a bit of contact there with Macho, and Noah Jones right on the back of these guys as well. Felix not too far off the pace, and Tom now tries to get the run out of the Della Roger, out of the Westfield chicane, now through Curva Grande. In the end though, further down the field, Valkeo and Rocco are side by side, wing mirrors to wing mirror apart. Coming out through Cover Grande, and now in towards the Della Roger chicane. Rocco on the inside line, trying to make up ground. In the end, doesn't. But I'll tell you what, I predicted him for P3. I didn't really mean it to be P3. He's not been P7. He's doing a phenomenal job early on. Mr. H, by the way, came in the pit lane to set a soft compound tyres. Pelly, of course, had that spin coming out of Parabolica. He's there down in 15th position. But Ruti leads the way, Tom in second, Michael in third. Everything bubbling nicely in the sprint.
Yeah, Tom has a big advantage if we look at the ERS percent, with Tom on 90% almost and Ruti on 40%.
Noah's right on the back of Macho, coming out of Ascari, and now looks to the inside line. Is the Alfa Romeo going to go for this move, or is he just going to fake it? Yes, he does. I knew what was coming there. He was going to fake that until the cows come home. Noah there in fourth, on the back of Macho, doing a fantastic job. Noah, though, was going to try and get Macho down the straight. Tom going to try and get Ruti down the straight. He's not close enough this time around. Noah, though, is on the back of Macho, and if they're not careful, Ruti might have to go for the move on Tom. If, of course, these guys have break each other towards turn one, which they don't, and Noah again fakes the move. Indeed, though, not faking the move as well. Valkeo and Rocco nearly forcing each other on track, pretty much on the grass. There was the Irishman, and Valkeo just about comes out of that rather unscathed. Rocco certainly does. He's there in 6th, 0-9 will go through. He's into 7th and 8th, and then Valkeo there in 9th. Toyne there in 10th, and now Toyne going side by side up the hill, in towards turn number 4. He's on the outside line. In the end, Valkeo just on the brakes. Parks that car perfectly through the Delaware chicane. He's doing his into 9th and holds